my beauties. I'm coming at you with the most exciting update I think that I've had yet. I don't know, getting the news that I was completely approved for surgery and everything was really awesome, but I wanted to let you guys know that I am finally in Onederland. It's been several years since I have been down in the 100 and something pound range, and so it feels so good to be able to meet that milestone. I think even better than that, it feels really awesome to be able to say that I've now lost over 100 pounds. So I'm just going to really quickly get into my stats. I am 41 years old. I'm 5'2". I had surgery on March the 12th of 2018. I actually started my supervised weight loss program 6 months prior to that, back in July of 2017. At that time, I weighed around 298 pounds. I have been a little bit over 300 pounds though prior to that. And on the day of surgery, I weighed in at 273 pounds. Again, that was March the 12th. I'm now 17 weeks out from surgery, and I weigh, drum roll, 198 pounds. So I actually got on the scale yesterday and saw that I crossed over that threshold. I was at 199, but yesterday was really crazy for me and I didn't get to film. So this morning I got on the scale and had lost another pound. So I'm 198 pounds. 30 pounds of this I lost prior to surgery, somewhere between 30 and 35. I told you guys before, I'm not exactly positive on what my high weight was. I believe it was somewhere around 303. And so I can definitely now say that I have lost over 100 pounds, and I'm super excited about that. So that means that here in a second, I'm going to sing for you guys a song that I wrote a lot of years back, but it's still my favorite out of all the songs that I've written. For those of you that have never been on my channel, I am a minister of music. So this is what I do. Well, I love to do it. It's not just what I do for a living, but it's my profession also. And I love to sing. I've sang my whole life, and so it's just something that's such a huge part of me that I don't know how I could be personal with you guys and not share that part of me. So I'll sing that for you here in just a minute. Before we get there, I just wanted to talk on a really quick topic. I like to have a little bit of something to bring to the table whenever I talk to you guys, some advice to help out, and something that I wanted to share with you guys was brought up by the fact that some of my friends and family found my YouTube channel. So if you guys are watching, I love you and I miss you. But anyways, yeah, so before I had surgery, I was really nervous about letting people know that I was going to have surgery. And I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do after surgery, if I wanted to tell people or not. My parents knew, of course my immediate family knew, my kids, I had talked to all of them, and I had talked to just a few of my close friends and told them what I was thinking about doing, just because I wanted to make sure that I was doing the right thing. But other than that, I was kind of embarrassed about letting people know. And so I want to talk about that kind of shame and embarrassment that might be attached to doing something like this, whether you're having gastric bypass or VSG or whatever it might be, reaching out for medical help when it comes to weight loss. So my entire life, I had been able to somehow take off the extra weight. So between each baby, I think I've talked about this before, but you know, I was, whether it was through diet, mostly through diet and exercise, whatever it might be, I was able to take off the weight myself without having to have any help. Of course, I was much younger, I was in better health, and all those factors definitely factor in. And so I just was so stubborn about it in my mind for years. Even after I got really sick, I thought, you know, I've done it before. I've lost 80 pounds before. I think 80 pounds is like the most I've ever lost at one time, but I've lost 80 pounds before a couple of times. I can do it again because I put on quite a bit of weight with each one of my pregnancies. So the longer time went on, the sicker I got. I had a knee that started to go bad on me. They were talking about possible knee replacement if something didn't change soon. the more I understood that I couldn't do it on my own anymore. That the amount of weight that I needed to lose, even if I was healthy, the amount of weight that I needed to take off was so great that I really needed help of some sort. And so I had to get beyond that stigma in my mind. I had to transform my mind on how I viewed the surgery and people who have surgery. I've known people who had gastric bypass over the years of my life. And I think I'm just being completely honest here. Please don't hate me because of this, because I'm just being real with you. When somebody would bring up that person's name, that was always the first thing that I thought about when I thought about that person was, oh, okay, that's the lady who had surgery to lose weight. And I didn't want people to attach that to me. I didn't want to become, oh, that's the girl that had surgery. Dude, I hope that somebody out there can relate to what I'm saying. And so I was very nervous about letting people know. The more I thought about it, the more I thought, how in the world can I do this without letting people know? I'm not a liar. I'm not going to be fake. And when people ask me, so Amy, how are you doing it? You know, I'm not going to say, oh, I've just been working really hard, working out, which I have been. You know what I mean? This is definitely not the easy road. I have been working really hard, but I think that if I were on the other end of that response and then I found out somebody had actually had surgery, I would feel like I was lied to. And so I didn't want to lie to people. What really helped me was to watch channels like this one, to watch girls that have had surgery before, guys that have had surgery before, listen to their stories, to find out what it actually takes. Because I think there's a misconception out there that people who have this kind of surgery don't have to work for it. They're not hungry anymore because of the surgery. They don't want bad food anymore because of the surgery. Or I think in my mind, I actually had the misconception that people could eat whatever they wanted after they had this surgery. They just couldn't eat as much. And so, you know, they could still have donuts or they could still have whatever. They just couldn't fit as much in their stomach, and therefore they weren't as hungry as everybody else. So if that was the scenario, that would be awesome. Everybody would want to have this surgery because, you know, you could eat till you were satisfied on whatever you want, but that's not the case at all. We have a very strict diet on what we can eat. We're very limited on what we can have, and we still have hunger and we still want to eat like we did before. I don't think everybody's that way. There are some people who are fortunate that they just don't have that much hunger, but even if it's just head hunger, missing those foods that we used to want all the time, it can be a real struggle. And I've shared with you guys that I've even gone as far as watching people eat on YouTube to help satisfy that. You know, watching people binge on donuts, and they call them, I think they call them mukbangs or mukbangs or whatever. Watching people eat large amounts of food to satisfy that hunger in me because I had so much head hunger. It was really a mental game, and somehow I felt satisfied through watching them eat. But that's how much of a struggle this is. So once I realized through having my own surgery and through watching all these channels, I've been able to then educate other people. When I talk to them, when somebody says, Amy, how'd you do it? You know, I let them know that I had surgery, but I also let them know, like, but that's not the easy way out. You know, like I have to watch what I eat, and it really is a struggle still. I have the advantage of having a tool that helps expedite that weight loss, but I still have to put in the work. And so I try as much as I can when I talk to people to educate them about that, not just so that they don't view me wrongly. I don't want you to think that, but just so they don't have prejudices or preconceived ideas, I guess I should say, about this surgery, period. But once I started sharing with people and letting them know that that's what I had done, that I had had surgery, it was very liberating. And I actually felt very empowered by it. It caused me to want more and more to help people. That's one reason why I do this channel. But I've been able then to talk to people since my surgery who really could benefit from this surgery. And because I'm being open about the fact that I've had surgery, I've been able to share with them then all the ins and outs of it and answer any questions that they might have and be able to encourage them that this might be a good option for them. It's not for everybody, and that's for certain. But to be able to encourage people who I think might really benefit from it. And I don't just walk up to people and say, hey, you know, maybe you ought to think about having gastric bypass. That would be seriously rude. But I'm talking about people who start to inquire about it and show some interest in it, and I'm able to give them good information because I'm not trying to hide the fact anymore that I've had surgery. Now, that being said, I still was being pretty private about the fact that I had a YouTube channel, which is really funny to me. I always thought that was funny when I was watching other people's channels, that they would be willing to share this information with all these other people, but they didn't want necessarily their family or the people that they were dating or whatever to watch their channel. And I think that's just because it's such a personal thing. But that being said, I have a very loving, supporting family. I have the benefit of that. And so we're the kind of people that share everything anyways. So after I got found out, I've really been okay with it. I didn't know if I would be, and I really have been okay with it. So some people from my church found me somehow, and then it kind of snowballed from there. And so now I've got some family members following me too, and some people from the church, and that's okay. It's good. It's good. Like I said, it's freeing. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, if you are one of those people that are on the fence. So anyways, if you're thinking about having this surgery, then really contemplate on whether or not you want to keep this private or not. You definitely have the right to do that. I mean, this is your life, your body, and you don't have to answer those questions. But just from my experience, I can tell you that it's really set me free. And, you know, I feel like for me, it would have been really unhealthy for me to try to hide that. So I'm glad that I shared it. I hope that helps you out if you're trying to figure out what to do. All right, guys, I'm going to quit rambling on here, and I'm going to show you the video of me singing my song for you. I want to say that I thank you so much for all your love and support. I told my husband the other day, I was like, I know at some point I'm going to get haters. It just happens. But so far, everybody that's subscribed to my channel has been so loving and so sweet, and I really appreciate all of your support. All right, guys, see you in a second. Bye. Okay, guys, so here's my song. I wrote this song when I was about 18 years old. It's called Deep Waters. To swim in the deep waters and hold to Him till nothing else matters. Venture out until I find I surrender, and I am willing to swim in the deep waters and hold to Him till nothing else matters. Venture out until I find I surrender, and I am willing to the top of the tree, walk on dry ground in the midst of the sea. Just speak the words that I will believe. I am willing surrender and I am willing to swim in the deep waters and hold it until nothing else matters. Venture on until I find I surrender and I am willing. Thanks, guys.